Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Normally, every month, I look at the numerology, astrology, and Kabbalah of the month that we're in. And today is October 9th, and I haven't done October yet. I do have it. I'm going to do it right now. Um, I was away in Chicago, as many of you know, so my beginning of my month was sort of split between home and my new one of my new favorite places to visit, Chicago. So I'm a little behind on that. However, I did do the taroscopes, and there's a lot of astrology in those. So if you want to know, it's actually specifically for yourself, check out the taroscopes for your sign. You could look at your sun, you could look at your moon, you could look at your ascendant. So that's to get just a deeper look at the astrology, both what's happening and specifically for your sign. Okay, so let's get started and take a look at this. All right, so we're looking at in this video we'll be mostly looking at the numerology and the Kabbalah with a little bit of astrology for October 2025. So, as I've said every month, we are in a 9 universal year vibration. The 9 is connected to the energy of wisdom, brotherly love, forgiveness, healing, and service. 9 is the number of humanity. And it is also the last number in the series of numbers. So it symbolizes the end of something, but the concentration of the wisdom from the last 9 years sort of condensed in a seed that will be planted in 2026 when we move into a 1 year. So the universal year vibration of 9, it says here, Hermes was the wisest of all philosophers and brought light to the world in the form of wisdom. The 9 is the reflection of his lamp that lights the way. 9 holds the knowledge of all numbers before it. It endows the 9 with understanding and a feeling of brotherly love. And so, as a universal year vibration, the idea or ideal of brotherly and sisterly love needs to be fostered. Um, the way things are going out there, it really is a test of your fortitude to be able to hold that energy, I think. 9 is the number of the humanitarian. On the tree of life, 9 is found on the path of the hermit, connecting the Sephiroth of Jupiter, which is this blue Sephiroth here, Sephiroth meaning emanation, and the Sephiroth of the sun, which is here. And here's the 9 path. Um, this path is called the intelligence of will, reminding us that we create our world with our own hand. So we are creating the world that we're living in. This path is connected to the sign of Virgo. And of course, actually, the only Virgo energy this month is actually Venus as she moves at the beginning of the month as she's in Virgo. So things happening to Venus at the beginning of the month will be important. And the Hebrew letter Yod, and this is the Yod right here. Now, the Yod is Hebrew, sorry, is considered a flame language, and the Yod is actually the initial flame, the initial spark. In the Adam Kadam, it is the head of the Adam Kadam. The Yod, Hey, Vow, Hey, it is the top. It is spirit, and so this is direct from spirit, the Yod, and it makes up all the other Hebrew letters. It's like this constituent that makes up all the letters. Okay, now um, let's go to the monthly vibration because every month we move into a new month and we look at that vibration as well. And of course, October is the 10th month, and the 10-1 vibration is the 1, One is the self put through, one is the self plus the strength and leadership abilities from the great I am. One is connected to the great I am. Um, Within every one of use, the intelligence, pioneering, spirit, ambition, all in the one. Intelligence, pioneering spirit are all found in the one. The zero part of the 10 is the cosmic egg that contains the attributes of the God in each of the 10 Sephiroth within that egg. The egg would be our sort of our contained reality, we'll say. On the tree of life, it is found on the path that connects the Sephiroth of Jupiter, which we have here again, the blue Sephiroth, and the Sephiroth of Venus. This is called Hesed, which means mercy, and this is called Netzach, which means victory. Victory. It is completely in the path, or on the pillar of mercy, also known as the pillar of the past. And we have the nine energy connecting the pillar of the past with the pillar of the present. When I see a lot of energy on this side of the tree, a lot of times it's bringing the past up to either resolve, or it's bringing talents and abilities from the past, including past lives. This path here that connects Jupiter to Venus, we actually do have a sextile between Jupiter and Venus. It actually happened yesterday on the 8th. And I did want to come on the 8th, but I sort of ran out of time yesterday. So, but we're still feeling it today, and it's still significant. The sextile opens the lines of communication. And we have Jupiter in Cancer, and at this point, we have Venus in Virgo. And so both Cancer and Virgo are signs that nurture, that want to take care of things, that want to solve problems, that want to find ways of bringing stability and understanding and health and healing in. And so even though there's a lot of stuff going and it doesn't seem like sometimes anything good is happening, that's not true. There are a lot of good things happening. Usually good and bad is about 50-50. With a little bit of, hopefully a little bit more good than bad, right? But a lot of what we see and is exposed to is procured through the media. And so where we pay attention, it's like the shiny object, right? It doesn't necessarily always mean that it's all bad, or really that it's all good, right? There's always something, like Gilda Radner would say, it's always something. Says this path connects Jupiter. This is the path connected to Jupiter. Okay, this path here, we have the connection. The path connects Jupiter and Venus, but the path itself is connected with Jupiter because the Wheel of Fortune, which is the tarot card associated with this path, um, called this conciliating intelligence, is connected to the planet Jupiter. So this path is connected to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Cancer currently. On October 8th, there is a waxing sextile between Jupiter and Venus, opening the lines of communication as to how to take care of each other. And certainly, do we not need that? The energy or the intelligence is called the conciliating intelligence, that which balances emotions and evens out personality. Now, I do want to point out that this is the Wheel of Fortune. And so this energy generally indicates change. So we're going to see a change this month. Um, Next year, 2026, is a Wheel of Fortune year. The last Wheel of Fortune year we had was 2017, when Donald Trump took the presidency of the United States. And the time before that, we were in a 10-1 year, universal year, was 2008, when Barack Obama beat John McCain. So we can see a theme here, right? There's a revolution in a way. The wheel is a revolution. The key to this energy really is to stay centered in the center of the tree. In the center of the circle, in center of the wheel, and observing life, the cyclicity of life. This reminds us that um, it's not all, it's always going to change. Even in the darkest of times, that's when the light comes in. And even in the light times, that's when the darkness comes in. And we sort of go back and forth between the light and the dark. And for us, actually, if we were to put this particular card, which I thought was kind of cool with the sands of time, right? If we were to put it so that the sands of time were this way, it would be the infinity sign, right? And so it's in the middle of the infinity sign that we need to stay. So there's going to be a lot of things happening this month, a lot of things that seem very bad, a lot of things that seem very good. Our our hopefully our ability to stay centered through this is what's going to keep us uh, from falling off the wheel or getting thrown off the wheel, as it were. Um, the conciliating intelligence, as it's known, is that which balances emotions and evens out the personality. Um, the personality on the tree of life sits beginning in Netzach, Hod, Esad, and Malkuth. This is the lower part of the tree. This is the part of the tree that creates itself when we incarnate into spirit so that we have a way of navigating being in this world, in this lower world. Okay. And so nobody can ever always be on top. What comes up must come down. Spinning wheel, got to go round. Talking about your troubles, it's a crying shame. Ride a painted pony, let the spinning wheel turn. It's a great song. This is the Hebrew letter associated with this path. It's called Kaf or Quaf or Kaf. It's Kaph, I think, meaning sometimes it means palm. I've seen it mean palm, and I've seen it mean fist. Um, and I guess you can decide: are you going to be closed off, or are you going to be open? And I would say it's best to have your hand open. Things can leave. Things will leave from an open hand, but also things come into an open hand. Okay. So it's better to be open than it is to be closed because with closing, it's going to go away anyway. No matter how hard you grasp onto something, it's going to eventually disintegrate and go away. And then when something new comes along that you can have an opportunity to hold, if your hands are still grasped like this, a closed hand, a closed fist cannot receive the blessings that spirit wants to give us. So let's keep that. So, a lot of us are kind of like, I'm so mad, right? You're walking around like that. Hands open, hands open, hands open, hands open. Okay. Do. I feel like I'm doing that hand jive thing, right? Like this thing. Okay. Anyway, onward and upward. Then the last number we're going to look at is the combination of the 10 and the 9, which is a 19. Now 19-1 is a special energy because it's a karmic debt number. And 19-1s, when we are in a 19-1 month, when we're in a 19-1 personal cycle, maybe you have a 19-1 in your personal numbers, this is something that you agreed to do. So what I want to say about October 2025 is that we all agreed to experience it. So we have to sort of step back. I think to a certain extent, we need to suspend judgment. We're in a place where things are sort of falling away and new things are starting to develop, but those things haven't been planted yet. Those things won't plant till next year. So and this month, we're gonna get a taste of what next year is going to be like, both in the negative sense, perhaps, and in the positive sense, right? And then we get to choose as human beings with free will which direction we want to go in. Okay. I think as we move through this time, especially with Saturn and Neptune going to be conjoining in February in the sign of the I Am Aries, is people are going to get a sense. And I would say this to you, this is a sense that you want to carry into next year, that we co-create with spirit, that we have the power of co-creation. And and that deals with our ability to visualize and then to work within the physical environment in a perhaps service oriented way, okay, and in a way in which the ideals that we hold deepest in our hearts get and really it's a heart thing. A lot of people who are very successful and all of this, they're not necessarily in their heart. I'm not saying that successful people aren't in their heart. I'm talking about people like a Murdoch or um, Musk, right? A deal. I'm sure they have people in their lives that they care about, but the bottom line for them is not about a heart. It's not a heart-centered place, right? It's lower. So we need to sort of stay in the heart-centered place and yet function in this lower realm. Okay, so the 19-1, this is known as a karmic number for when it is on any of the major positions in the numerology chart, the individual feels a sense of urgency. So we're going to feel that situations may push the person to stand on their own 2 feet. This is also called the number of initiation, for the 9 contains all the knowledge of the numbers before it and will be tested on them. The exam is finished. When the exam is finished, perfection is found. In October, the sun moves through the sign of Libra and Scorpio. Why do I bring the sun? Because it's the sun card, right? The 2 signs in astrology that deal with relationships. So it's even though it's a 1 month, and a 1 month and year vibration, it really is about relationship. On the tree of life, the sun is located on the path between Hod, the Sephiroth of Mercury, which is here, this orange circle, and the Isad, the Sephiroth of the moon. Um, this is the path of emotional intelligence. Okay. This is the mind, and this is our feelings, our subconscious urges, and this is the path where we come to understand those a little bit better. In the Kabbalah, it is called the collective divine consciousness, this path, the collective divine consciousness, the inner light of the world perfected, right? The sun within each one of us. I selected this card. This is from the Wildwood deck because he has the sun sort of beaming on him, and yet the sun is also within him. And of course, the sun um, in astrology is the sign, is the planet or the star, I guess, that rules Leo. Leo rules the heart. So this is really about being in your heart. It's like a rebirth. The 19-1 is a rebirth, but it's a rebirth of the heart, and it's an initiation into a higher understanding. And so we're going to be initiated this month into a higher understanding. And keep in mind that we chose this. So we have nobody to blame here. We have to take responsibility and stand on our own 2 feet. The essence of this path is the life force behind every face is the face of God. And so this is where we connect with our own divine inheritance, our own spark of the divine that lives within each of us. And this Hebrew letter is Resh, Resh. I think it said Resh. I'm not good on Hebrew, but it means the face or the continents, like the continents of the face, and the face of each of us. And when we look at somebody in the face, what is reflected back to us is the face of God, because God, Goddess, all that is within all of us and not outside of us, but within us. And when we seek that within us in our own heart, we are like suns shining like stars. And we need a lot of shining stars right now because, frankly, we have a lot of work ahead of us. All right, so that is the energy of the month. This was the full moon. I might as well show it to you, sun and moon. Um, And I'm going to stop now, so because we're not going to do too much astrology here. All right. So hopefully this is helpful for you this month. It's going to be a corker, as we say here. Such a corker. Anyway, take care of yourselves, everyone. Stay in the middle. Observe what's going on. Try to keep yourself centered. If things get too overwhelming, pull away. It's all about balance, really. So there's activity and there's rest, right? And we need to balance those. So make sure you do that for yourself this month. I will see you as the month progresses with different astrology things. Um, the new moon coming up will be in Libra. Is it Libra? It's new moon. Wait, hold on. Where is the new moon? I'm sorry, I gotta look. Oh my goodness, I had it right here. Let me see. Where is the moon? Where did it go? Okay, hold on one second. The new moon. I should know this. Okay, one second. Let me get back. Okay. Yes, Libra. I thought so. So the full moon is at 15 of Aries. We just had that on the 6th, and then the new moon will be on the 28th. I'll be doing moon shadows on my channel with Ona. Join us for Mystic Sisters every Saturday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And we talk about the week that was, the week ahead, and any other interesting stories that might come up. Okay. Take care, everyone. Have a great month, and I'll see you soon. Much love. Namaste.